As the battle continues to extradite the suspected killer of the UnitedHealthcare CEO, Luigi Mangione is adding a new attorney and former New York prosecutor to his legal team. The 26-year-old also getting donations for his legal fees. NewsNation's Mills Hayes has the very latest on this case for us tonight. Mills.
Hey, Natasha. Well, Saturday Night Live even joked about the internet's obsession with the suspected murderer last night. Social media users are flooding the internet calling to free Luigi. Mangione is picking up more support in the Big Apple, too. He just hired criminal defense attorney and former Manhattan prosecutor Karen Friedman Agnifilo to represent him in New York. The 26-year-old is currently in a maximum security prison where he faces charges after being arrested there. Mangione is fighting his extradition to New York, but District Attorney Alvin Bragg said Friday Mangione may waive extradition and be in New York as early as the middle of next week. Mangione supporters are raising money to support his defense team. GoFundMe has taken one down, but on GiveSendGo, supporters have raised over $115,000. There's a lot tying Mangione to the crime scene. His DNA and fingerprints were found on a food wrapper, water bottle, and cell phone at the scene. Police found a 3D printed gun and suppressor in Mangione's backpack, along with clothing and a face mask similar to the ones used by the shooter. Mangione's alleged manifesto is 2 to 3 pages long, where he says, quote, "Frankly, these parasites had it coming." New York police say that Luigi Mangione was never insured by UnitedHealthcare, but they believe he targeted the UnitedHealthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, because of the health insurance company's size and its influence. Natasha?
Mills Hayes, we appreciate that. Thank you. And to talk more about the Luigi Mangione case, I am joined now by criminal defense attorney and legal analyst Sarah Azari. Sarah, it's always good to see you. Thanks for making the time.
Good to see you, Natasha.
So Luigi Mangione is expected to plead not guilty despite the significant amount of evidence against him. Authorities say they have DNA and fingerprint evidence. He appears to be on that surveillance video near the crime. He was found with a gun, with fake IDs, with an anti-healthcare manifesto on him. So what is the legal strategy behind pleading not guilty here?
It's not so much strategy, Natasha, as it is the presumption of innocence. Every defendant, no matter how overwhelming the evidence against him might be, is presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And that burden rests entirely with the prosecution. So this is a case of circumstantial evidence. And even though it might seem overwhelming evidence against him at this time, he still has to put up a defense, and he has to chip away at the prosecution's case. The prosecution builds a case, the defense attorney dismantles it. So he has every right to mount a defense.
What motives does Mangione have to either fight or waive extradition, and what direction do you expect that to go?
I don't think that he has necessarily a motive. I think at the time that his attorney said he's going to fight extradition, there wasn't as much evidence that, since then has been trickling in. And so I think the attorney wanted a little bit more evidence of probable cause in order to decide whether or not to waive extradition. I expect he will waive extradition, because even if he doesn't, Governor Kathy Hochul can order his extradition. It's inevitable. It's not going to cause that much delay. I think she has about 30 days from his hearing in Pennsylvania to order him extradited. I think he will waive because more evidence has come in since that time.
And what do you expect the chief arguments or strategies from Mangione's defense team will be?
I think it's too early to be specific in that regard, but I think it's, you've got the wrong guy. Again, chipping away at the prosecution's circumstantial case means looking at the ballistics. Just because this is the same gun or same type of gun that was used in the shooting doesn't mean it is the murder weapon. They have to have the same tool marks on the casings. They have to do a test fire of the gun they found on him to determine whether this is the murder weapon. DNA obviously needs to be independently tested. Fingerprints, okay, maybe he was in the area, but that doesn't make him the killer. The motive is questionable. The fact that he hates corporate America, he hates healthcare in America. Millions of Americans share in that sentiment, including myself, but we don't go out killing. So why is it that he targeted this specific CEO? I don't think that's very clear. And even though, Natasha, motive is not an element of murder, it is what every prosecutor has to present to a jury. So I think that, it's too early to be really focused on what the defense might be, but it's definitely that you got the wrong guy.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.